Hey guys, today's video is going to be about Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is going to be in the sign of Pisces for about 5 more months. It takes about 3 years for Saturn to transit a sign. Then after that, it's going to go into the sign of Aries. Since Pisces is the last sign on the zodiac wheel, Saturn going through there is kind of representing tying up loose ends, starting a whole nother phase, a whole nother era in our life where we upgrade into a whole new person. So, for everyone. I'm going to go over the main themes of Saturn being in Pisces, which is basically a major, intense period of introspection and focusing on building stronger boundaries around your spirituality and your deep emotions. Definitely leads to challenges, though, because you have to learn to set limits in your relationships, mainly your intimate ones. Those are the more spiritual realms, right? And your personal identity. And it's actually what the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra has been all about. It's been focusing on those similar themes because the North Node being the point of destiny, pointing out the ruler of the first house being Aries, all about focusing on your self-development. South Node, though not being completely shut out, still put on the lesser end for now because we need to work on our personal development. So it's all symbolic, it all ties in. During the entire time, you foster a deeper understanding of your own vulnerabilities and your need for self-discipline in pursuing higher ideals. But it really does depend on the part of your chart that it's in and how it's going to transform things for you. We're going to go through all the rising signs. Well, actually, I want to kind of read about Saturn a little bit, the story of Saturn, just really quickly. So, yeah, he ate his own kids. Great role model, right? So, Roman mythology. Saturn was a god in ancient Roman religion and a character in Roman mythology. He was described as a god of time, generation, dissolution, abundance, wealth, agriculture, periodic renewal, and liberation. Saturn's mythological reign was depicted as a golden age of abundance and peace. After the Roman conquest of Greece, he was conflated with the Greek titan Cronus. He fathered Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, Juno, Ceres, and Vesta. Saturn was especially celebrated during the festival of Saturnalia each December, perhaps the most famous of the Roman festivals, a time of feasting, role reversals. Role reversals. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. Free speech, gift giving, and revelry. And that's actually what Christmas is, isn't it? Kinda. Not all the aspects, but it's quite similar. Anyways, I just wanted to go over that really quick. You get a better idea as to what Saturn is. And the main theme is he's just the big daddy. He puts us in our place. He tells us what to do. He keeps us in check. But we're going to start with Aries rising. Aries rising. You guys are having this go through your 12th house. That's terrible. So it's like you got to struggle balancing your personal needs with the needs of others, needing to find structure within your humanitarian pursuits, perhaps, but also having it in your 12th house. It's really challenging your subconscious patterns big time, your self-sabotaging behaviors, but it's a great time to develop your spirituality. if you allow it. The 12th house is the unseen. So in a way, it's like you're able to kind of hide out more, if that makes sense. Or it could be the other way around, where if you're used to being sneaky, then Saturn's going to be like, nope, bitch, I don't think so. You're going to be called out for this. You're not going to get away with it anymore. That kind of a thing. But yeah, it's probably really difficult for you guys, and I'm sorry. 12th house shit is not a joke at all by any means. 11th house for Taurus rising. You guys could experience challenges in defining your goals, needing to be more disciplined with your endeavors. But at the same time, you're having issues with friendships, social groups, and like humanitarian collaborations. Maybe you've been struggling to find where you kind of fit in your social realms. Maybe you've been having some really needy, clingy friendships where they kind of rely on you too much. But it's like you're learning that, okay, I can't be there for everyone else all the time. I have to be there for myself too at some point, right? So Saturn's kind of bringing that to your awareness of yourself. And then Gemini rising, it's going to be in your 10th house. So you're going to face, or you've been facing, challenges with career aspirations, your public image, your reputation. This has really been a transit to kind of fine tune your skills in a way. Like, what is the path that you want to take career wise? Like, are you passionate about it? Are you willing to put forth all the hard work? Perhaps you've been running into obstacles trying to launch something new that you've been working on, because Saturn really wants you to fine tune everything. And then Cancer rising, it's in your 9th house right now. So perhaps you've been going through a lot of back and forth with your belief system, travels possibly had more delays, more difficulty trying to go abroad, perhaps. Higher education. Maybe you've been trying to kind of go back to school, but it's been difficult to stick to that, and running into some delays with that. But mainly with your beliefs. Like, what do you really believe in? Deep reflection of that. Religion and all that stuff. Leo rising. That's me. 8th house. Challenges with intimacy, transformation, and shared resources. Yes. 8th house is where we hold all of our traumas, besides the 12th house, but it is the house of death and rebirth, more so than the 12th house. The 12th house is about our subconscious mind. The 8th house is about, all right, I'm ready to make this die and I'm ready to start this over. So basically, it's like you are having to grapple with maybe something you're ready to kind of just turn a new leaf in something, or you're trying to transform yourself, but Saturn's there and he's like, nope, nope, not going to make this easy for you. It's going to be very, very slow and painful. And even though you want to just, you're ready to go, nope, you're going to have to sit for a while before things get going. Sorry. So, mainly just challenges in general with like transformation for me personally. Transforming, it's been a really big time of like seeing like the ego of myself. I'm just speaking from my personal perspective. It's been like a major death of the ego for me, and trying to kind of bring out the deep rooted authenticity to the to the surface without feeling uncomfortable, without feeling like, oh my god, are people going to think I'm like, too much, or am I going to be am I going to, I don't know, be a Debbie Downer, that kind of a thing. But that's how it's been for me. That's mainly what the 8th house is about. It's just about challenges with transforming and shared resources with others. 7th house is going to be for Virgo rising, because Virgo, your descendant is in Pisces. And you know what they say about the descendant. So basically everyone's descendant is going to be the opposite of their rising sign. So for me, as an example, I'm a Leo rising. That means my descendant sign is my opposite, which is Aquarius. My sun is in Aquarius already, but that causes like a constant tension, like on a daily basis for me, like an inner battle. And I'm talking about myself again. I need to stop doing that. Ego death. Okay. Issues with partnerships, commitments, and close relationships. So there's been a major transformation in all of your commitments to people. It doesn't have to be intimate relationships, but any kind of relationship dynamic, whether it's family or friends, work, one-on-one individuals, really. That's been kind of a process for you to go through. Yeah. Overall, just learning to prioritize like the equal give and take between both partners, establishing clear boundaries. 6th house is going to be for Libra rising. So you guys have been kind of reestablishing your daily routines, your health habits, needing to prioritize your self-care practices. So perhaps you guys have been really starting like a new workout routine, a new diet, that kind of stuff. Healthier habits. 5th house is going to be for Scorpio rising. So for you guys, difficulty with creativity and self-expression and romantic relationships. So for all Scorpio rising, Saturn has been in your 5th house. And that affects your romantic relationships. That puts a big damper on it to where you can't really express yourself as well. You felt like you've been kind of having this heavy weight that has kept you from fully being able to embrace things the way that you want, or you felt like you kept running into these delays in how to press forwards in those areas of your life. But mainly with like self-expression, I would say, because that is the most basic of the 5th house, is just having something like hindering your self-expression. But Saturn's asking you to restructure that so that you can express more fluently or fluidly and authentically. And let's see, we have Sagittarius rising. You guys have it in your 4th house of home. So challenges with your family dynamics, your home life, and your sense of security. And some challenges in your home space. Things just have been super up and down at home. Can't find the peace. So perhaps you might have been used to, maybe not for all, but perhaps you were used to being able to just get up and go and leave. And maybe ever since Saturn came in, it has prevented you from being able to do so. Like you can't just leave anymore. You can't just escape and leave home. There's nowhere else for you to go. You have to stay here and deal with it. That kind of a thing. Forcing you to either reconcile your relationships to family or establishing boundaries with them in a equal manner, in a diplomatic way. And then for Capricorn rising in your third house, difficulty with communication, learning, and your close relationships. A lot of mishaps with the way that you're talking and communicating with others, and possibly some delays in just your short trips that you do. Third house is short trips, friends, siblings, even. So maybe you've been having some really heavy feelings and vibes between your siblings, but communication hasn't been on point. And then second house, Aquarius rising. You guys might have had some challenges with your finances, your self-worth, and your material possessions. So overall for you guys, it's been like there's been a scarcity maybe. Maybe you've had to be extra careful with your spending habits. Or, you've had more responsibilities piled onto you during this. So therefore meaning you have to be more frugal with your money and your spending during this time. But it's been teaching you to be more savvy at the same time. And by doing so and making more accomplishments in life, it also heightens your self-worth. And then, of course, last but not least, Pisces rising. Pisces, it's been in your first house. So it is the most intense, of course. And it's all about your personal identity, your self-image, building a strong boundary for yourself. And not only that, but Saturn on your ascendant is saying, be authentic, Pisces. No more escaping. There's no more, even though Neptune's still in your sign right now, eventually it's going to go into Aries, just like Saturn will. And you're not going to have that veil anymore. So you need to solidify who you are and what you want, what path you're on, what your purpose is, the meaning is that you strive to accomplish and portray in life. 5 more months of this transit and then it goes into Aries. Anyways, I hope you guys liked it. I know it's kind of short, but I just wanted to go over this before the new transit into Aries next year. Saturn is no joke, that's for sure.